All right, you guys, I am on day 2. We are on unit 8. I am going to very quickly recap what we learned yesterday. So I'm going to get through a couple of these odd problems, and then we're going to spend the majority of our time on the second section down here, okay? So how do we do, why isn't this zooming? There we go. How do we do a square root of a negative? Remember, you're allowed to bring out this negative sign as an I. We talked yesterday about how I squared equals -1, so you are allowed to find this negative sign and bring it out as an I. And then it's just regular 3 in here. And then you would, of course, try and break down the 3, but 3 doesn't break down, so in that case, we're finished. Okay, how about this one? I'm going to bring this one out as an I. And I'm also going to keep this negative sign that's in front, so don't lose the negative. It stays. Let me make that a little bit more clear. This negative sign just stays there. But the I came out, so now I just have regular 28 on the inside. I can't write today either. And now I'm going to break down this 28. So it's 7 times 4, 2 and 2. Found a group of 2. This comes out. So the way I'm going to write my final answer is that 2 comes out along with the negative I that's already there. And the number that has to stay in is the number that didn't get circled, which was that 7. So there is my answer. Let's try this one. I'm going to bring this out as an I. So I have the negative sign that's already there. I have an I out there now, and I have root 25. You guys know what root 25 is. I saw a lot of mistakes on our last test over simplifying radicals. Root 25 is just 5, right? But a lot of us broke it down. It's 5 and 5, so this comes out, and we have the negative that's already there, the 5 that's out there, and the I that was already there, and there is no more square root, right? There's no numbers down here that have to stay in, so we don't even need this square root, so I'm going to erase it. So I erased my I on accident. There is the final answer, okay? Square root of 25 is 5. So you have a 5, you have an I, and you have a negative sign. That's our answer. About this one, number 7. I'm going to take out the negative sign as an I. And now I need to break down the 42. 42 is 7 times 6. And 6 is 2 and 3. 7 doesn't break down. Oh, I'm surprised about that. But I guess 42 does not break down. So I'm going to erase all of this. There's my final answer. I thought it would break down, but I guess it didn't. One more. This comes out as an I. And I'm pretty sure 32 breaks down. It's 2 and 16. 16 is 4 and 4. Found a group of 2. That comes out. And this number has to stay in. So how do I write my answer? The 4 comes out. The I was already there. And on the inside, I just have that 2 that did not get broken down or did not get circled. All right, you know how to finish up the rest of those. No big deal. I'm going to spend some time recapping what we learned on yesterday, the previous day of this section. Do you remember we wrote this chart? I to the first, I to the second, I to the third, and I to the fourth. Okay, we made this chart. You can flip back in your notes one page and see exactly what I'm writing here. But I to the first is, remember there was an acronym. I kept saying, I won, I won. Do you remember that? I won, I won. I won, I won. But the middle two are negative. So this is what I'm actually going to simplify these problems to. So anywhere I see like an I to the third, for example, here's an I to the third, I'm going to replace it with negative I. Anytime I see an I squared, I'm going to replace it with -1. Okay, so that is what I'm going to be replacing and trying to simplify with. So I have a 3 here. Looking down at the chart, I squared is -1. Looking down at the chart, I to the third is negative I. Okay, what did I do here? Let me show you. I squared is right here. I replaced it with -1. Another one, I to the third is right here. I replaced it with negative I. So I'm just doing a little bit of like substitution. 3 times -1 is -3. Plus negative I just makes negative I. And plus 5. And do you see these like terms that you can combine, like these whole numbers? -3 plus 5 is 2. And then just keep the minus I. And remember, technically, they want you to write the number first and the I second. So just kind of keep that in mind. Let's try another one. I see an I squared, and looking at the chart down there, I can replace it with -1. I see an I to the third, which means I can replace it with -I. And I'm just going to keep that positive 13. 5 times -1 is -5. Positive 7 times -I makes -7I, and then I still have positive 13. So I'm just multiplying positive 7 times -I. It's being multiplied here. That means it needs to continue being multiplied here. I have some like terms I can combine, -5 and positive 13. So -5 and positive 13 makes positive 8, and I still have that -7I. There's your final answer. Remember to write the whole number first and the I last. Let me talk about 17. 17, I'm pretty sure I can take this out as an I. So I'm going to keep the 11, I'm going to keep the minus, I'm going to put the I here, and then write 81 inside the radical. So all I did here is I took out this negative sign as an I. That's what we practiced above. And when I break down 81, I get 9 and 9. Oh, it's a perfect square. Yes. So I get 11 minus 9I. Remember to keep the whole number first and keep the I part last. Let me try and do one more. I'm going to take this out as an I. So I have 7. Now there's an I there, root 24, and keep the plus 6 at the end. Let's see, when I break down 24, it's 4 and 6. 4 is 2 and 2. 6 is 2 and 3. There's a group of 2. That can come out. Both of these numbers have to stay. So when I simplify this, I get 7 times 2, which is 14I. Root, these two numbers both had to stay. 2 times 3 makes 6. Plus 6. I'm going to reverse this because technically I'm supposed to write the I part of the answer last. So this is a positive 6, so I'm going to start my answer with 6. And this is a positive 14I root 6, so I'm going to write positive 14I root 6. This answer is not wrong, but I want you to know that in a multiple choice test, which as you know, a lot of our questions are multiple choice, right? You're going to see the I part written last, and I think it's just more formal and more professional to write it like this. So let's just try and get in that habit, okay? The I technically is supposed to be in the second part after whatever sign goes with the problem. All right, let's get working on some evens, you guys. I'll walk around and I'll help you. Ask me some questions, please. Love you all.